Hey guys, I'm a health visitor in England. Let's talk about early rising and how to prevent it. Early rising typically tends to be waking between 4 a.m. and kind of latest 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is a normal wake time, so 4 a.m. to 5:45. There are three main things that can cause early rising, typically, which I'll go through in this video. First one being the conditions of the room aren't necessarily right, so making sure the room is as dark as possible, because especially when the sun's waking us up, that actually encourages us to wake. So you want to have as best blackout blinds as possible. Are they warm enough? Early in the morning is when we can tend to get a lot colder. A lot of the time just putting socks on your children can help them sleep for longer in the morning. Is there anything that's waking them at this particular time? Is there, a particular car or something going past at that time that's waking them? Making sure that maybe you've got white noise on or a fan in the room, just to help drown out any other noise. So that's number one, is environment. The next thing that can cause it tends to be overtiredness. Your body stops producing the sleep hormone between 2 to 4 a.m, which melatonin, and cortisol, which is your stress hormone, which we release if we are overtired, acts like caffeine in the early hours of the morning, which is why, again, we tend to see if babies are waking a lot past midnight and your melatonin's petering off, it's due to overtiredness. You haven't quite got the nap gaps right. They may be awake for too long, or if they're waking early, you're putting them to bed too late, basically. It is a myth that if you put your child to bed late, they'll wake up late. Again, this usually encourages overtiredness. So actually, to help combat overtiredness, you want to have a little look at their nap gaps if they're younger, making sure that they're not being awake for too long in between the wake windows, and that when you put them down to bed, if they have they dropped a nap or they definitely seem overtired, we want them going to bed nice and early to help catch up on that sleep. And this is where it gets tricky. The third one is actually undertiredness. So it can be that your child hasn't built up enough sleep pressure, or baby hasn't had enough sleep pressure. So this is an overall day thing. If they've had too much daytime sleep, or the gap between the last nap and bedtime was too short, then we can, or the nap after waking in the morning. So if you're finding they're waking up at 4 a.m, then you're putting them back down for a nap at 6 a.m. This can also encourage early rising. It's an absolute minefield, and this is where it can be so complicated. My sleep guide does talk about early rising. It's only £5. The link is in my stand store. However, if you don't want to buy that, that's absolutely fine. And I'll keep doing hints and tips, or try the things in this video. Sometimes, and this completely contradicts everything I've just said, one late night bedtime can help them sleep in later in the morning. And then the next night you have to catch them with an early bedtime to help catch that overtiredness, because then that's going to lead on to early rising or waking in the night. It's such a minefield, guys. It's so complicated, but I absolutely love sleep. I love talking about sleep. I love reading about, learning about children and babies' sleep.